Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to What Do You Say Anime, the illustrious 29th most listened to anime podcast in Turkey. Thank you for joining us today. I am your host, Peter. Joining me today on our adventure is the ragtime duo of Pat and Miles. Gentlemen, how are we doing this fine evening, and what are your initial thoughts on the upcoming season of anime we will be previewing?
Did you even say my name there?
Yeah.
You said
Yeah.
Pat and Morbius? Okay, okay. I was just so distracted by the Morbius thing that it like kind of erased my memory there, and the stumble too. The stumble that we totally didn't edit out. Mhm. But yeah, no, I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk about this show. Yeah, this sucks. We're terrible at this all of a sudden. I don't know what the fuck happened.
First time.
Yeah, first time by the way. Exactly. Miles, how are you doing, buddy?
Uh, you know, I have like a month left to live. So hopefully I can get the first couple episodes of spring 2023 in before I get rabies.
You're
So
Morbin. You're
Yeah, the
Morbin.
I'm
duo, the
Morbin.
Morbin.
So I'm pretty excited about the season. There's a lot of great sequels and there's some pretty interesting originals, not originals, but like first time, you know, on the scene anime that I'm excited to watch. So
Pat, did you give your thoughts on the upcoming season?
Yeah, not really, but like I can keep it quick. Similar to Miles, super excited for all the sequels, and there's like 3 or 4 new ones that I actually am like have been super excited waiting for. So, and the big one is what we're about to talk about, because I've heard nothing but good things. So, why don't you take it away, Pete?
Yeah, absolutely. We will be going through the non-sequels first. We will be doing sequels towards the end. If you want to jump to a specific show that we will be talking about, use the timestamps in the description below. You can jump to that, but let's get started on probably one of the most anticipated anime I've been looking forward to in like years. And that is Oshi no Ko. Got my manga right here. Miles got his manga right there. The synopsis, it might sound crazy, but trust me, the show is going to be gas. 16-year-old Ai is a talented and beautiful idol who is adored by her fans. She is passionate, pure, and a young maiden, but all that glitters is not gold. Thanks, Smash Mouth. Gorou is a countryside gynecologist and a big fan of Ai, so when the pregnant idol shows up to the hospital, he is beyond bewildered. Gorou promises her a safe delivery. Little does he know an encounter of a mysterious figure would result in his untimely death. Or so he thought. Opening his eyes in the lap of his beloved idol, Gorou finds that he has been reborn as Aqua, Ai's newborn son. With his world turned upside down, Gorou soon learns that the world of showbiz is paved with thorns. What talent does not always beget success? Will he manage to protect Ai's smile that he loves so much with the help of the eccentric and unexpected ally? Yeah, I can't wait for this show. That synopsis seems like wild personally, but when you get into the meat and the potatoes of this story, it becomes something like so unlike anything I've read so far. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts on Oshi no Ko?
Yeah. Oshi no Ko is being done by Doga Kobo, by the way, a studio that is usually very hit or miss, but I think it's kind of hard to miss with this show. Uh, Almost impossible. This manga, I think we read it for our manga club. I don't know, probably what 6 7 months ago, and I just remember hearing nothing but positivity around you guys talking about it. I think you guys ended up giving it like a 9 something between like 4 or 5 people,
Yeah,
which
I
is
think it
like
was our highest rated manga that we reviewed in our little
yeah.
club.
Which makes sense from everything else I've heard from other people as well. I am so upset that I spoiled myself on a very specific spoiler by clicking on it, pulling a Tyler, but actually being mad about it. And god damn it, am I mad? But still cannot wait for this show. It's gonna be very very exciting. I think I believe it was the mangaka is the same as uh
Kaguya-sama.
Kaguya-sama, right? Yep. So that the writing in Kaguya-sama, if it's anything close to that writing, I'm gonna love it, and I'm sure most people will too. Miles, what do you think?
yeah, so I mean, technically not up to date on the manga, but I could get up to date in however long it takes to read like 2 manga chapters. So, um, I'm really excited for it. Like I love the manga. There's like specific moment. My only issue is that like I love the manga so much that if they don't do it fucking perfect,
They don't do
I will.
one scene perfect.
There's, I swear to fucking God, I will find the animators' houses and I will send them a sternly written letter that says, "Thanks for trying your hardest." Um,
I'm gonna send you a bat.
I'm gonna send you
Like,
the bat that's been living in my house,
yeah.
and then you'll need the rabies vaccine. For our listeners, I had to get the rabies vaccine because there was a bat in my
That was the
house.
Morbius joke, yeah.
That was, um, but I'm excited. There are just so many great characters and moments and everything in this show. It sounds like it's absolutely insane, and like frankly, like it is. Like the premise is kind of insane.
Yeah.
But the characters are just so good, and the situations they find themselves in are so good and interesting that that if they follow the writing, I don't think it'll be able to do wrong because there are definitely plot points and like things that like I think on paper are like technically unimportant or weak, but it's like it's just so good. The character work is so good that I'm like super interested. He goes off on this tangent about like what it's like to be a mangaka for like 30 chapters, and I'm like, this has nothing to do with the main plot, but I love this. It's like, so um, I'm just really excited to see it animated and yeah, for everyone to be able to like experience it. And so hopefully they do it justice. And if they don't, I'll be sad. But definitely give this a shot, everyone. I'd give it 2 thumbs up. Recommend. Watch the show.
I say go in blind, personally. I would say if you haven't read the manga yet, go in blind because that's what I wish I could do. And I'm so upset that I can kind of do that. I'm going to enjoy the story, but in the back of my mind, that big spoiler is going to be there. And it sucks that I, that I know it. I would try going in blind to this because I think it's almost going to be a guaranteed like 9 or 10 out of 10. Like it just, again, off of all of the hype that's been going into it. And their eyes, by the way, like, oh my God.
And it
they're
plays
so
a
pretty.
pivotal point in like the story too. The eyes are so cool. That's so cool. A couple really interesting things.
The rabies is really
the
coming
rabies
out
is
this
coming
episode.
out for sure.
Coming out.
A couple really neat things about this series. First, it's getting a like 90-minute movie prior to the season starting. It airs in Japan on the 17th of March. It's gonna be really interesting to see how we get it because more than likely the movie is going to depict the first 10 chapters of the story. I don't know if that's gonna be like an episode 1 thing for us, but it's gonna be like it's really interesting just seeing like Doga Koba do a movie. Usually they're not like the studio for a movie. I feel like I don't even know if they've done a movie, so that's interesting. Second, I know Miles is on pop for this a little bit, but they announced it really recently that Yasobi is doing the OP. They did the Witch from Mercury OP, so I think the music in the show is just going to be fantastic. I cannot wait to see how they like transcend this idol culture, media culture, manga into a sphere like anime and really give it like the light and shine that a beautiful idol would be. So, man, I can't wait for this. It's probably going to be an easy like anime of the year contender for me, just because ongoing manga, I'm fully caught up. I have the manga at a 10. It's in like my top 5 all time. I love Oshinoko. So yeah, I'll be a little disappointed if they don't hit it the nail on the head, but I feel like at least the first part of the story is going to hook a lot of people. And yeah, I do think that it's getting hype for sure. But it's a little, I feel like it's still like a little under the radar. I feel like once we get like the movie accessible, a lot more people are going to be talking about Oshinoko. Any other thoughts, guys?
Can't wait.
Yep. Cannot recommend it more.
Oshino goat, right?
Oshinoko.
Yep, Oshino goat.
I mean, if it means anything, I consider getting a tattoo of Oshinoko. Like, that's how much I love the story. So it says a lot.
All right, yeah. So our next show that we're going to be talking about is a show called Jigo Karaku, or Hell's Paradise, as I'll call it going forward. Here's the synopsis. Gabimaru the Hollow, a ninja of the Iwagakure village, I know why Pete gave me this one now, known for being cold and emotionless, was set up by his fellow ninja and is now on death row. Tired of killing and betrayal, he wants to die. However, no method of execution works on him, because as much as the seemingly apathetic Gabimaru refuses to admit it, He does have a reason to live. He wants to return to his wife, who is the reason why he softened up and failed to be an effective assassin. Thus, he refuses to die. Asaemon the Decapitator, a famous executioner, sees this and has a proposal for the ninja. He wants Gabimaru to join an expedition to an island south of Japan in search of the elixir of life in exchange for a full pardon by the shogunate. However, this island isn't a normal island. It's believed to be paradise. However, the island is full of mysteries, and the exploring team, consisting of those marked for death, might not be fully prepared to handle them. So yeah, this is a manga that it's being done by Mappa, by the way, which Mappa is one of the big headlining studios out there right now. So I'm sure it's going to look pretty. I'm sure those I'm sure those workers are not going to be happy with how much they're going to be putting into this. But I love the idea of this. This what I would say is the historical setting has me interested. Any show that has a shogunate or samurai involved, I'm always going to have at least a little bit of an interest in. Uh, Seems like it's going to have a lot of gore as well, like pretty like brutal fights. So I mean, just from the first paragraph alone, like how many different executions methods are they going to try on this guy on screen? You know, like how many are we going to have to see that somehow fail? I'm very curious about how this show is going to open up. One of our most active community members as well, Jay, huge fan of the series, as far as I know. So I don't know, he's been talking nonstop about this. I'm pretty excited. This again, out of the originals, that I think this one's going to shine the brightest, or some of the brightest. What do you think, Miles?
Yeah, I mean, I am excited for this, but this isn't exactly my cup of tea. I'm more into not samurai stuff. I don't know. I'm not a big
Fair enough.
samurai guy, which is like a weird thing to say because samurais are cool. I guess this guy's a ninja, not a samurai. But tomato, tomato. I think.
I think there
Um,
are both in the story.
Well, yeah, if the
I would
shogunate,
imagine so. Yeah.
the shogunate is the samurai ruling party, right? Like, so it should be. It's got to be something. A little bit of both.
Yeah. But Mappa does like a good job with their shows and everything, and I think this is like one of those things where I'm like, oh, do I have to watch this? And then I watch it and I really like it. I'm like, oh, this is good. It's just sort of like getting over that like hump of like watching something that isn't like exactly your taste. It does sound pretty interesting. It sounds like it's got some like mystery and stuff in it, and like weird sort of like I don't know if it has like fantasy and supernatural elements like it sounds like it probably does. And so, I dig those. So I'm definitely going to give this a go. It's not my favorite genre or anything, but Mappa does a good job, and the manga is of course acclaimed, and people that I trust like it. So it's definitely on my to watch list.
Yeah, a couple things about this one, especially with Jay telling me all these details about it, that it's a conclusive ending, a really good ending, which I'm a huge fan of. I think there's a good chance that we get the entire series adapted.
Okay.
I also think the show would be like, for Miles and Pat, if they ever watched Jujutsu Kaisen, be like, on paper, it's probably not your show, but if you watched it, you probably would really like it. To me, this screams like Jujutsu Kaisen all over again. The character designs are like really cool. There's a girl named Yuzuhara. I really enjoy her design, and she's being voice acted by Ri Takahashi, who does like Megumin, and she's like one of my ongoing favorite female like voice actors right now. There's a lot to say about this. The PV looks really good. I think Mappa's gonna knock it out of the park like most of the time that they do. I don't know if they're gonna have like their top tier or team working on it, because Finland is also airing still when this is airing, and I know Mappa has 4 teams on their studio, so it'll be interesting to see if it's the Jujutsu Kaisen team, if it's the Chainsaw Man team, if it's the Attack on Titan team, like which group of animators are working on Hell's Paradise. And I think that's going to stay a lot on its quality, because sometimes we get other Mappa shows, like right now, the Isekai Amazon Prime show that Mappa's doing. You can tell that it's like their 4th team is working on it. So I don't think that, I have a feeling that they'll probably have like top tier talent on this, just because it's a pretty beloved shonen property, and that's usually where the budget goes. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. It hasn't been announced on how many episodes it's going to be, so I'm hoping it's at least 2 core, because it's 13 volumes, and I think they can knock it out.
That should be enough. Yeah, if it's two core, they could probably finish the whole series. Yeah, or set up a movie or to
Yeah,
finish
something
the
like
series,
that.
maybe
Yeah.
something like that, right? Like so. Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna check it out. Any samurai show, or ninja, whatever kind of that is any show based somewhat into a time frame close to like Meiji Japan is always gonna interest me. Just because I think it's such a fascinating era. I did not realize that the executioner, Asemon, the decapitator, is a woman. It's a cute anime girl who's like 17 or 18, apparently, according to the synopsis. I didn't even realize that. I don't know.
I think
Again,
there's a lot of Asebons. If you look at the Mal, there's 3 of them or 4 of them. So there might be like a group of executioners.
who knows? Let's find out.
Yeah,
I
we'll
can't
find out.
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't wait to find out. It's interesting to not see his wife listed as one of the main characters, at least from what I can from like clicking through them all quickly. Well, no, he has to find his wife. He's the one on trial, not her.
She's dead.
Yeah, yeah.
She's
Okay.
probably dead.
Listen, all right,
I have no idea.
Listen.
Yeah, this is
We have
not
no
a
idea.
spoiler. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
None
not
of
a
us
spoiler.
know
I have
this.
no idea.
At least we don't think it is. We hope it's not. For everyone's sake, but yeah, who knows? Maybe the wife doesn't exist. So who knows? We'll have to see. But I'm definitely gonna check this out. I would say anyone who likes samurai, or I like that analogy as well. Like JJK, I think it does seem to have like that kind of a like the cast looks like it has a lot
Yeah.
of personality, right? And it fits.
It,
Miles, what do you think? Oh, sorry.
no, I was gonna say I know it seems weird like now to maybe comparing JJK, but before JJK had its anime, it was kind of a niche series. It had like 1 million copies sold, and it really wasn't like the property that it is now, where it's the biggest thing in anime and manga, like by a lot. So I don't know if it's gonna be at the same level just because Hell's Paradise is a finished property, but I can see a lot of people like, you know, bunch of cosplays at cons, a bunch of people like saying that this is maybe we get a new terrible fan base of Hell's Paradise nerds saying that this is peak fiction. Who knows? I'm excited to see what this property brings out people.
Yeah, so the next show that we're going to be talking about is Kimi wa Hogaku Insomnia, or Insomniacs After School. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about
I'm
this
so
one.
jacked.
It's your we're moving from an action-packed show to another action-packed show with this slice of life Iashiki.
There's fireworks.
It all started with the death of one of the astronomy club's members. From this, the rumored ghost of the club came to life. Grumpy insomniac Ganta Nakimi stumbles across the moderately rebellious yet easygoing Isagi Magari in the astronomy club's abandoned observatory. Magari is jolted awake and tries to escape from the scene, only to have a broken door prevent that, forcing the two inside. The two forge an unlikely friendship, leading them to use the observatory as a safe space for them to interact. The show follows the Insomniacs, Takimi, and Magri's time in the starlit observatory as they help each other cope with insomnia and the lasting effects it has on student life. The best thing in any anime, stargazing. Stargazing scenes. Some people might tell you it's other things. Oh, I like the dialogue, or I like the fight direction, or the soundtracks, or I like Bochi the Rock. All of those people are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the Mochi fans.
They're the most wrong. What? Now, mind you, season 2 has a stargazing scene. I'm changing my opinion on Bochi, but
you're moving it from an 8 to a 10.
Yeah, I'm
an 8, by the way.
I'm pulling an Italy and switching sides in World War II. So, but I'm excited for this. I kind of like these comfy shows, and I love stargazing. I just think space is so freaking cool. I'm excited to see how they use this as like this sort of kind of has like a summer ghost feel to me. I don't think that there will be like quite as much like actual supernatural stuff, but like the sort of like dealing with trauma and like insomnia. Like I doubt the insomnia is not caused by anything in this, right? Like I haven't read the manga, so maybe they're just
It's an
Insomniacs,
Iashiki, so I feel like it's gonna be pretty lighthearted.
Yeah, I mean, you can have Iashikis that deal with
For sure.
Yeah,
like
Mushishi.
Mushishi, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Our Yokohama shopping trip or whatever. But like, I'm excited to see how they deal with all of this. and I'm excited to see like the scenery and stuff. Like one of my favorite things about Call of the Night was like how they had like the night sky palettes and stuff, and so I hope that that's like really good in this show too. So I'm excited for that. Pete, what do you think?
Yeah, you nailed the. Oh, what's the phrase? You nailed the.
I hit
You hit
the nail on the head.
There you go. You did that.
Okay, yeah.
With the Call of the Night, getting heavy Call of the Night vibes. I don't think that this is right now a romance. I do think that this is more of just like a friendship type of story from what I've seen. I do hope that maybe it advances into a romance at some point, but yeah, I'm really excited to see like this Iyashiki style storytelling of two people who have like a minor problem of like not being able to sleep, I guess, and kind of just them coming together and bonding over something simple like that. I really enjoy those styles of shows. I hope that like the color palette from what I saw from the PV was like really bright in the moments that it needed to be, but then also kind of neon-ish, kind of like Call of the Night was when it with like its purple color palette with the night. It kind of has a little bit of that vibe in here. There's just a lot to there's a lot about this that I'm more just wanting to jump into the story and see where it goes, just because on paper this checks every box for me. Linden Films is doing it. They did a bunch of different anime, and I'm pretty confident that they can do something. They did Call the Night, so like
They did Call of the Night,
damn,
yeah.
you stole. I was like, oh wow, Miles is gonna say it, and then you brought up Call of the Night, and I was like, damn it, I'm gonna lose my thunder. And then you started not Call of the Night, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna lose my thunder, and we almost got
my
to
bad.
me.
I stepped on your
Oh,
touchdown
good.
call, but yeah, I just more than like honestly probably like a top 5 show I'm looking forward to this season.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So again, Linden Films, right? Like the fact that they did Call of the Night means that the sky scenes are gonna look gorgeous, right? Because that was one of the. I wasn't a huge Call of the Night guy. I never got around to finishing it, but I do remember thinking that the background art was gorgeous. You know, in the first few episodes I saw, and the Starry Nights, and so I think if anything, they've got a lot of experience and practice recently making a show about an insomniac. So there's gotta be something there. When I first looked at this, I almost it looked Hinamatsuri like with
Yep.
the face shapes and the and
Aliens.
yeah, the aliens, yeah. Not quite, but I don't know. Again, I like that summer ghost analogy too, because like who knows? Maybe there's gonna be a little bit of a are they alive? Like who's involved? Influencing them in some way. I'm curious about it. I think the manga was pretty popular as far as I know too. It's not too old. It's only from 2019. So to get
Mhm.
an adaptation that quickly feels like you gotta be pretty solid. I want to see this cat though. I don't know. The cat isn't listed as a character, so I hope it's more relevant than just being on the front cover of the like PV art. But but yeah, I'll definitely check this out. Give it a couple episodes at least.
Can't wait, dude. I can't wait. Just the cover art where they're wearing the headphones and the headphones are like connecting to each other is just so cool. God, this show looks so cool. I can't wait. You know what show does not sound cool? I'm just kidding. This show actually sounds like fucking badass. It's called My Home Hero. Tetsuo, an ordinary salaryman, discovers that his daughter, Rika, has been physically abused by her boyfriend, Matori. Trying to learn more about him, Tetsuo uncovers Matori's scheme to extort money from Rika's wealthy grandparent and finds out that he is a member of a crime syndicate with a history of murdering his former girlfriend. Filled with rage and fear at the thought of Rika being in danger, Tetsuya ends up killing Nobuto, and with him the help of his wife, Kasen, successfully disposes of the body. Now, as the members of the syndicate begin to question Nobu's disappearance, Tetsuo and Kasen must work together to ensure the safety of their daughter and prevent her from getting involved in any predicament any further. This is being done by Tezuka Productions. Not a huge studio, but they did stuff like Kids on the Slope and Dororo, so they do have some pretty acclaimed anime under their belt, but they've also done some stinkers as well, like the Isekai Demon and Girlfriend. So probably
Quintessential quintuplets too. No, I'm kidding.
50
Sorry.
50 50 shot on whether if this is going to be good or not, I think, in terms
So
of
they're
like
the
production.
best studio of all time. Is what I'm hearing. They did Quince.
Yeah.
For miles, this is the best studio that could have done this show. But you guys, what's your thoughts on My Home Hero?
Yeah, the synopsis is very very interesting. Stories about abuse, especially within the family, are always going to be hard to do. I think because it's just such a traumatic thing that, and it says it's drama and suspense too. So thankfully, I hope it's not going to be played off as a joke or played off as not that serious. I Crime syndicates are cool, right? Like that's almost like the Spy Family kind of feel, maybe, where it's like he's got his secret life that he's living, and or maybe not secret, but underground life that he lives. So I mean, I'll be curious to see how it differentiates itself for me
Yeah,
from like
from the
Spy
vibes though,
Family
it
or something else.
looks much darker, like
Right.
way more serious.
Well, yeah, just from the topic alone, right? Like, which of course, Spy Family can be serious when it has to be, but it's not going to be like, I don't know, like they've hardly shown that Anya was abused, even though it's heavily
True.
implied, right? Like they haven't even shown that much yet, or any sort of history on that. Versus like this, it seems like it's gonna get right away. You're gonna be into the feels. So I don't know. Again, suspense is always a cool genre, I think, because it can be done horribly, or it can be done with enough tension to really hook you in. So I'm gonna at least give it a shot. What about you, Miles?
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have any money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills that I've acquired over a long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. This reminds me of like Taken or
Yeah.
something. Um, so yeah, I think it's like pretty interesting. I sort of like this gives me vibes where it's like someone gets involved in like an underworld for like a good reason, and then it like spirals out of control maybe, and like he has to keep escalating his
Hmm.
involvement and stuff, which is like it's pretty interesting. I'm excited to see like how it goes. This feels like something that could either be like really interesting and I'm like super into it, or like it kind of goes off the rails and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So it's definitely something I'm going to check out, and I'm excited to watch it. But it's something that I also think might, by the time episode 5 or 6 goes around, I'm like, okay, buddy, like Taken 3 or 2 or
Exactly. Are we getting
But
taken one, or are we getting taken three? Like she can't keep getting kidnapped.
yeah,
yeah,
it's
but
oh yeah, and then he did Taken on a plane.
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh, so
well, and like how I don't know about you guys, but I have never heard of this manga being talked about by people too. So like, if it's really gonna be a sleeper banger, it's gonna be because the studio kills it, right? Not just because the manga, which apparently is rated at 7.93 on Mal, is like a sleeper hit, right? Because like it doesn't really happen very often. I feel like, right? Like, or am I maybe just
I mean,
disillusioned?
it does happen sometimes. Like, think of it like Bochi just got translated, which was like not a super popular manga, right? And like they did, like at least I don't think it was, and they did like a really good adaptation of that. Things like K-on's manga weren't super popular. Maybe it's just music manga that aren't super
Yeah.
popular, and then become better. But like, it definitely does happen.
I,
So
we talked about it
yeah,
earlier, but like JJK before it had an anime, was like a 7.7 on Mal, and now it's like an 8.4. Like I'm not saying it's gonna do that, but
yeah,
you
it's
never
definitely
know.
possible. Yeah,
I,
I definitely I like it when studios take risks on things like this because it sounds interesting, and if you have enough, I don't know, like leniency, and you put enough like extra spin on it or something, like the manga could be, it could be like, oh, like the manga's interesting, but it's like a 7.9 because maybe the fight scenes aren't good. So if they like enhance those in the
mhm.
anime or whatever, like you can definitely get, you can like buff out any rough edges that the manga could have. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. But it does feel like something that might end up being like a little ridiculous, but I'm still excited to
Yeah.
watch it.
Have you seen the movie Con Air?
I have not,
Okay, because in the beginning of
unfortunately.
Con Air, Nicolas Cage character, like his like wife is being attacked, and then he's like a military dude and ends up like killing people while he's defending his wife, then that's how he becomes a prisoner. I don't think this will be like silly like that, just based off like the PV and what I've heard from people. I think this is gonna have a little bit more serious undertone. They casted the main character. The MC is his voice actor. His name's Juichi. He does Archer from Fate, Yami from Black Clover, Victor from Yuri on Ice. He's a very good like disgruntled old man voice who I feel like if you were in a dark alley and you heard his voice, you might get shivers up your spine. I think this is like a really good casting for this type of character. But kind of like what Miles has said, I'm scared that it's going to be like Taken, where I really enjoyed the first one and I'm going to be hooked in the beginning of the story. But then it snowballs into like more and more ridiculous stuff, where to the point where it doesn't seem like it's reasonable anymore. So that's what I'm nervous about. However, I think the premise, I don't really know if we have anime that's kind of like this. We have like organized syndicate stuff, but where more of like the civilian role is the main focus and not like the actual crime syndicate. I think will be an interesting take on the series. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm kind of nervous that like Crunchyroll won't pick it up type of thing. We'll see who.
Is it not picked up by anyone yet?
It hasn't been announced yet, but we'll probably get that closer to April when that starts being announced. But I don't know why. I just feel like this is I might have to go sailing for this one. I'll put it that way.
High dive will grab it or something.
Hope so.
My joke was better.
Speaking of High Dive, Oshi no Ko is exclusively on High Dive.
They announced exclusively, or
yes,
they just say that it was
exclusively on High Dive?
You know what? Thank God. Fuck you, Crunchyroll.
No, I'm not. Fuck Crunchyroll. There's Hime right there. No, they're the goats.
I miss Funimation.
We all do.
I know.
Do we?
Their smart TV app was great.
Yep, it was wonderful. And
wait till you try Crunchyrolls. It sucks.
It does.
It does.
It's so bad.
Considering every time I Chromecast, well, this is not the smart TV, but now on Chrome or Crunchyroll, every time I Chromecast, it defaults my language to Portuguese, and I have to change it every single episode to English when I Chromecast because their app is trash.
You should just learn Portuguese, in my opinion. It's a pretty cool language. Is it Brazilian or is it Brazilian Portuguese or is it like Portuguese? Can you tell?
You think I know? They're not playing Counter-Strike. I don't know. Furia!
Yeah, go Furia. Wow, off the rails a little bit here, but hey, that's fun. That's why it's fun. Yeah. Instead of going to Brazil, let's go to a galaxy next door, or Otonari ni Ginja. Really good transition, Pat. That was really good. Ever since their father died, Ichiro Kuga has struggled to support his two younger siblings on nothing but a small inheritance and his passion for drawing manga. But it's becoming harder to keep up with his growing responsibilities and deadlines, especially after his last two assistants quit to follow their dreams. Just as he's nearing his breaking point, the beautiful and scarily competent Shiori Goshiki applies to become his new assistant. But there's something almost otherworldly about Goshiki, and soon Kuga finds his reality turned upside down when she suddenly declares them engaged to marry. So, I saw the PV for this at like 4 a.m. one night when the series was like first announced. And I don't normally watch PVs because I like to be surprised. I like to, do the reading on my own, whatever. And I immediately was hooked by this. It looks a little over the line fantasy, like a weeb's fantasy, right? But maybe we'll get some cool like relationship building between two adults, something we don't always get in anime. Its demographic is seinen as well, which I think is something that's always nice to see. I prefer seinens a lot more over shonens. The scary things about this. First off, it's being made by Asahi Production, who, when you sort by score on Mal, their highest show is Super Robot Tyson OG, which I have never heard of or anything like it. And one of their top shows is hentai. Angel Blade Punish at a 6.37 is in their top 10 shows. So maybe it's not a full-on hentai, but it's the boobies are out on the poster.
For sure is.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but it for sure is. Yeah, genre. Adventure sci-fi hentai.
Oh, there you go.
Gotta
So,
start somewhere.
I mean, yeah, these guys, their highest rated show is a 7.23. So it's kind of, that's a little concerning, right? The art from the PV doesn't look very pretty either, honestly. I think if the voice actors do a good job, it'll be, and the writing is solid, I think it could be a good show. I just, again, it caught my attention, and I guarantee you it's going to let me down. So, check it out. Check it out,
You're
guys.
selling
Yeah.
it well.
I know. I know. Miles, what do you think?
So, I mean, I'm down with this. I'll definitely give it a go. This seems like a Pete thing. Pete's like really into childcare. He's like, oh, it's my favorite genre. I sure love childcare. None of these
You're making
people
it sound weird.
are Yakuza members, so I'm not sure if it's like 10 out of 10 for Pete. But
Yeah.
like, one of them's probably an alien, which is kind of like Yakuza. The word for galaxy in Japanese literally translates as Silver River, and I think that's really cool. But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely give this a watch. It it seems like it might just be sort of comfy and funny and what's the like I don't know how to how to like I can't think of a show that isn't from like the 1950s to compare this to. But I was thinking like I Dream of Jeannie or something, because she's an alien, and
That's I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
genies are like kind of like aliens, I guess. I don't know. We've lost the bit a little bit.
The
Um,
reverse isekai.
it's yeah, yes, just like I Dream of Jeannie. This is a reverse isekai,
There you go.
and our shows. This is a side note. Are shows like is Hinamatsuri an isekai because they're aliens and they're
Mm,
technically in a different world?
maybe. I
Is
would have to
is
think
is
about that.
Witch from Mercury an isekai? Because they're
Is
on another world, right?
Yeah, she comes from Mercury to well, they're on a space station, so I don't think that's technically a world. I don't know. We'll have to take this to isekai court.
Yes.
Mm.
But anyways, I don't have like a ton to say about this, but it is something that I should probably enjoy enough to at least watch, and something that I think Pete is about to say nice things about. So
I
Pete, go ahead.
am. So if anyone out there has seen Sweetness and Lightning, this is done by the same creator of Sweetness and Lightning, which has one of my favorite musical bits with the shark song.
サメサメサメサメサメに気をつけろ
So I'm hoping that
So
it's
good.
it's a. I have a feeling like it's gonna be like 90% lighthearted and fun, and then they always sprinkle in some like serious moments because in Sweetness and Lightning the mom is dead, and sort of like how the dad and the daughter come together over cooking. I feel like this is gonna be something similar where maybe like they come together as a family over who knows manga. I don't know. Since it's kind of looks like it's based around manga. I'm intrigued to why it's called A Galaxy Next Door. Maybe this is like a Tonikawa thing where the main
She's
character
an alien.
is she an alien in this story?
It says she's otherworldly, right? That's like a pun for alien.
You never know.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, are they just trying to be like she's like wacky, like an alien type of thing? Like, I want to find out for myself. Or
I'll
in
bet you $5 she's an alien.
you know,
I have
she
no
just-
idea.
if I was
She might.
a
she
betting
might-
man, and I am,
Okay.
I would not take this bet because I think you're right. But
Okay.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe she's an angel next door or something. Like, you never know.
and she might
Like,
spoil us rotten. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? We'll have to
Yeah,
see.
it does seem a little similar.
It does.
Yeah, yeah. I guess maybe them being adults will have like. I guess that's like the biggest thing is like maybe they don't like pussyfoot around like situations and they actually like tell it as it is because Sweetness and Lightning did that kind of well, dealing with like a parental death, which was like kind of serious, and then this is more like I'm guessing like the father was like the main source of income for their family, and maybe they fall on like harder times and they have to like figure stuff out together. Yeah, I do enjoy these styles of shows. One of my favorite manga of all time is called Yotsuba, which is kind of like goofiness and child care and seinen all together. So I'm hoping, yeah, Miles got it. I got my whole rack up here. So whenever Yotsuba gets adapted, I'm gonna scream from the top of the mountain how good that show would be. But I think this is gonna be like a very comfy like 7 out of 10 show, and I'll turn it on like before I go to bed, and it'll put me in like a good mood, and I'll go to bed.
You know what I bet it will have like a similar comfiness to? A harem. Like, I imagine that I'll think of this as like a similar way that I thought of like a harem, where like sometimes maybe it puts me to sleep, but
Mhm.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like it's a comfy sleep.
Yeah, I just hope like the dynamic is like fun and the cast is good, and if the animation's like whatever, it's fine as long as I'm getting my serotonin out of the storytelling. So I'm pretty interested. This is like a for sure watch for me. I'm assuming I'll probably be like one of 2 people in the Discord that watches it. So shout out to the second person. We'll talk about it whenever it airs.
There you go. So that's a Galaxy Next Door.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So a normal thing that happens is the person who just did the thing leads the person into they like kick it to him. It's like,
So that's a
anyway,
Galaxy Next Door.
Miles, what show are we gonna talk about next?
I don't know, Miles. Why don't you tell us?
I will. So
I'm not editing
Before
this, by the way. This is
I know,
Okay,
yeah, I
great.
hope
okay,
not.
great,
I hope
great.
not, because that's funny. Like,
Well, welcome to some inside baseball. um, you guys have heard about the best, but here's the rest. We have Yuri is my job. Life appears promising for Hime. She Rocky, a girl with good grades, a flawless reputation, and a cute face to top it all off. As long as she can keep up her picture perfect facade, she will be able to accomplish her dream to be loved by everyone and become the trophy wife of a billionaire. It's just super based, by the way.
yes, it is.
um, on a day like any other, Hime slips down a flight of stairs and lands on top of Mai Mikoshiba, injuring the latter's arm. It turns out that Mai is the manager of a cafe, and the injury will make it impossible for her, make work impossible for her. It is decided that while Mai recovers, Hime will have to replace Mai at Cafe Libe, which boasts an all-girls academy theme. Despite causing Mai's injury, Hime is accepted by the other staff members with the exception of one girl, who seems to hate her for reasons unknown. Hime becomes terrified that this girl has seen past her facade, which reminds her of a troubling event in her past. So, call me fucking trash, but I'm excited for this. There's a few things that are freaking great. 1, lesbian romances. 2, enemies to lovers. 3, okay, those 2 things. But I'm excited for the show. I like how pastel-y the design is. It seems like like I think like any comedy, it'll just depend if the show is funny or not. If I end up liking it, but it's the synopsis seems kind of like wacky enough where it's like it seems like it's pretty like tongue in cheek, sort of like, oh, like my dream is to become the trophy wife of a billionaire and be loved by everyone. It's like small goals or whatever. So like I sort of like that whole bit. So I'm excited to give this a watch. It is by Studio Passione, stealing Pat's Bit, which did Higurashi sequels. So I'm in. They also did Mirako-chan and other okay shows.
Do you want to say those other okay shows? Like, I don't know, Interspecies Reviewers, or what's that show with is it Roxanne is her name? The Harem in a Fantasy World Labyrinth.
Yeah, which we had multiple people in our Discord who thought that show was good.
I think I gave it
It
a
also did
5.
Yeah, it also did Citrus, another girls love show that is really, really good. Everyone loves Citrus.
Citrus might be a little bit problematic, but it's been a while. So, you know what? Maybe we've improved. But I don't know. I'm excited to watch this. And either watch all of it or drop it after one episode. Those are, and maybe even 10 minutes. Those are, I think, the two options for this show. This seems like a show that I will know instantaneously if I like or if I do not like. Pete, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I actually know like 3 people reading this manga, and they've all
Ooh.
said it's okay. So
Let's go! Yeah!
that being said, I was a little surprised to see that the MAL score for its manga is like a 7.4. I guess like on paper, this seems like pretty generic, I guess, maybe like, oh, I fell down the stairs and now you have to help me do my job, and goes into that. But from what I heard, like the cast is really fun. So if we get something more silly, I guess is kind of like the vibe I was getting from this, I'd watch it. I do enjoy, like, there's some good Yuri anime out there, and I don't know if this is gonna be like a genre defying Yuri like Bloom Into You is or something like that, but yeah, I'll probably give
I
it
mean,
a
it
couple.
is. It'll redefine the genre for
Damn,
sure.
who would have thought Yuri Is My Job is the Yuri to define all Yuris? But you know what? The name checks out. So yeah, I'll probably give this the old like 3-episode try and see if it's my thing. I'll probably, like Miles said, I'll probably know right away if it's hitting or not. But yeah, it looks cute, looks fun. I hope it's cute and fun.
They also did Island of the Giant Insects. I don't know if you remember that show being very friendly to women, especially. It was unfriendly to all characters, to be fair, but really really kind of the one. Oh wait, but they did Rail Wars. Rail Wars.
Yo,
Now that's a show.
that concept, I'm not gonna lie, I love.
Rail Wars?
Yes,
Yeah.
the
No,
concept
Rail
of Rail Wars
Wars.
is hilarious.
What is
I
the
loved Rail
concept
Wars
of
when I was
Rail Wars?
14.
Think of
It's let's read the synopsis real quick because this show actually is one of the first shows I watched when I started to really get into anime. Thanks Crunchyroll, by the way, for suggesting this after I watched, like, I don't know, something else, something not like that, like Sao. Rail Wars
Action
takes
Ecchi
place
Detective Harem Workplace.
Yeah.
I mean,
takes place in
half
an
of that
alternate.
written?
Yeah, it takes place in an alternate universe where the Japanese government remains in control of the railway system. So rather than them being privatized like they are nowadays, or in real life, they are run by the National Japanese Railway Service or something. And basically, these people all want to work for them. And yeah, it's etchy, and I don't know. I was a young, dumb, horny kid, and I like trains. Trains are cool. Yeah, that's a show by Passione. So who knows? I don't know. This show to me screams that it's going to be bad before it even gets released. Maybe we give it the 1-episode try, but I guarantee you Miles or Pete is going to just say, "Yeah, that was a show," and then I'm going to move on from it. But it yeah, the colors are nice. The pastels are nice, I think. Not for me though, personally.
Pete,
Yeah, I was
what's our
saying, do
next
you have
show?
any final thoughts? Otherwise, I'm jumping into my next show.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let me segue you on over there. Let's hear about the next show.
All right, this show, I know so many people adore the manga. It looks so much fun. It's called Skip and Loafer. Excellent steward Iwakawa has always dreamt about living in her leaving her small town, going to a prestigious university and making positive change in the world, but she's so focused on reaching her goals that she's not prepared for the very different and overwhelming city life that awaits her in Tokyo High School. Luckily, she makes fast friends with Shima, a handsome classmate who's laid back as she is overprepared. Can this naive country girl make it big in Tokyo with Sosuke by her side? And I know it might seem like it's a romance, but I'm almost certain that this is like a strict comedy slice of life about sort of like this airhead country girl and like the pretty boy friend. It kind of gives me vibes of, if you ever seen My Love Story with Takio, the big dude, and like his bro. I think that's like the relationship they have, that they're just like bros and kind of like do a whole bunch of just like fun stuff together. It's like like I said before, I know like 7 people reading this manga. They adore the main girl of this cast. She looks super fun. I'm really hoping that it's everything that I've like heard on Twitter and stuff like that, and I'm really interested in seeing how the anime gets adapted. It's being done by PA Works, which is most of the time good. At least like in terms of like animation, they're pretty good. Hopefully they can adapt it in a way that I enjoy. They're doing Buddy Daddies this season, and that's been really good. So, gentlemen, your thoughts on Skip and Loafer?
All right. let's skip to Loafer. Oh, got him. Get it? Because that's what it is in Japanese. Okay. I had heard nothing about this before we sat down to set this up.
Pat, it's pronounced toe in
Skip
Japanese.
toe. Oh, you're right. It is toe, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you
Shit.
finished?
I don't know. I
Okay.
might as well be. I might
Okay.
as well be.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah. No. That we should probably cut that because I'm bad. That we were both making bad jokes there. I don't know.
I can make them though, because Pete will just cut them. It's great.
Yeah. Isn't it great? We love this.
You say something
All right.
funny, I cut it so I look funnier.
Yes. Exactly.
Pete edits himself in later, just like
Oh,
saying the
Miles
joke.
said a funny joke. I'm gonna use that later.
Yeah, it's-
It's like all right, Pete, or oh, what do you guys? All right, boys, what do you think? And then it cuts. It cuts to Pete talking again, like we said. All right,
All right.
yeah. So, Skip and Loafer. It does scream romance when you were reading the synopsis, and then I was like, wow, it doesn't say romance, and it also says seinen. So, are there going to be like adult jokes in here rather than it being the usual like, oh, haha, misunderstanding kind of humor that sometimes happens in school slice of life uh shows, I guess. I'm curious about the cast. I think the main two characters are going to be great. They seem to like, again, like that partner, that pairing of like a Genki silly girl and a guy who's very aloof seems like it would be a lot of fun. I just wonder if the supporting cast is going to be able to enhance the show above maybe some of the other things it could be compared to. PA Works does, in my opinion at least, pretty well with larger casts. Pari Bikome or Your Boy Calming just happened. That was really great. Like Pete also mentioned, they are doing Buddy Daddies right now, which I'm hearing good things about. I mean, I loved. I believe they did one of my favorite old shows, Iriduku, The World in Colors. That has a similar vibe to this too. It's a little more romancy, I think, but it's still like a couple characters trying to live together or come of age, I guess is maybe a better way to put it. But they also did Angel Beats, so who knows? We're in for a ride here, I think. But yeah, Miles, what do you think?
yeah, I did some Googling, and it sounds like that people aren't sure if it's going to be romance yet or not. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it sounds like it might be like slow developing or just not really there. But the character design on this, like the expressions and stuff they have in the preview art, is fantastic. Especially Mitsumi, like she seems like she's such a little gremlin, like just like doing chaotic shit or whatever. So I'm pretty excited to give it a watch. The colors, like the preview art, like it reminds me of like I don't know exactly what it reminds. It's something, which is great commentary, I know.
It reminds me of a show that you probably haven't seen called Honey and Clover.
That's true.
Yeah, that's like the vibe I was getting from it.
The character design kind of reminds me. I think it's a silent voice that I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to watch this. It looks like it'll probably be funny. I'm excited to see how the characters interact and stuff. And like fingers crossed on some romance because I dig that. You know what I mean? I like some romance in my works. I don't want any strict comedies. Give me that romantic subplot. I need that.
You can't be friends. You're different
Yeah.
genders.
Exactly. Or the same gender, like in the last show we
Yeah.
just watched. No one can be friends.
No friends. You have to have
No-
sex.
Yeah.
Ship,
But
ship,
not because
Ship,
it's
ship,
anime.
yeah.
yeah, ship and Loafer.
You
There we
guys have to-
go.
You guys have to hold hands.
Spitting.
Pat is
Um,
spitting right now.
Whoopin'. This is in interest stacks with such shows as Shikamori is Not a Cutie as a awesome rom-com anime where there's no drama. So that's a bit troubling.
That is troubling.
But no, I mean, I'm excited to watch this. This just looks kind of comfy. I'm going to get a lot of watch. I'm going to get to watch a lot of shows this season because I'm on paternity leave, and so me and my son will be hanging out and watching anime together.
Love it.
Yeah, and so I get to subconsciously help him get some good taste when he's a youngin by making him watch good shows like Skip to Loafer maybe.
And Gurren Lagann.
And Gurren Lagann, yes.
Thank you. Just you guys heard that, right? I thought I heard Miles just say that he's watching Gurren Lagann.
It is
Actually.
in part of my New Year's resolution. So
Wow.
it'll happen in the next 9 months.
Good for us.
Pat, you're doing Yamada-kun, right?
Yamada.
Yes, I am doing Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. It's a show done by A1 Pictures, I think, right?
Madhouse is doing this one.
What one? We're talking about
Are, you-
Yamada-kun.
are we actually talking about Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches or the new one?
No, obviously not. I would like to talk about the Seven Witches show.
Me too.
Though. That one was really good.
I love that
I
show.
like that. Yeah, some good friend of mine recommended it to me for our Secret Santa, and I had to watch it. It was great. But yeah, no, we're actually doing a show called Yamada-kun to level 999 no koi wo suru, or loving Yamada at level 999. So, after her boyfriend cheats on her with another girl he met in game, Akane Kinoshita learns the hard way that gamer boyfriends can be just as bad as the offline variety.
I'm
so funny.
not gonna lie, that is my least favorite sentence of all time.
It's pretty bad. It's like it's really bad, but it's funny, right? Like, as she vents her anger by beating mob monsters to a pulp, she has a chance encounter with Akito Yamada, a guildmate with an afro and a no mask. I wonder what that is. Yamada
He's
is
anti-vax.
unsociable. Jeez. Yamada is unsociable and curt, hardly the type of person to make Akane swoon. However, while his gaming stats might be maxed out, Yamada is inexperienced in matters of the heart, and against all odds, she finds herself moved by him. Making new friends along the way, can Akane shake the heart of Yamada, a final boss level high school boy? So it's this like high school, like, I don't know, the show's been done like 10 times in the past like 10 years, right? With gamers and with
Tomozaki.
bottom tier Nozaki-kun, or Tomozaki.
Tomozaki, yep.
Tomozaki. Isn't Nozaki-kun one? There's a lot of shows that have done this, right? There's 3D Girlfriend, one that I actually enjoyed a lot.
Recovery of an MMO addict.
Recovery MMO junkie. That one's older characters, but these are it seems so the high school theme, not a huge fan of that. I'd rather them be older, but comedy, romance, video games, and it's being done by Madhouse, which I think is interesting because I can't really think of a show Madhouse has done that's similar to this. I guess maybe Chihayafuru isn't really even like, I wouldn't really say it's like that like this, other than having a female lead. Like, but otherwise Madhouse is a lot more of the provocative or thought trippy stuff, to me at least. I feel
They
like
did My Love Story, so.
Oh, that's true. God, how do I forget that? That's
It's like it's like not out of their realm, but it's pretty rare that this is the type of, they do like Sunny Boy and Paprika, but then they also do like A Place Further Than the Universe and Wolf Children, so.
Right.
Which is the reason why they're my favorite studio of all time.
Yeah, they are very, very, very good at what they do, right? So I am curious about it. The manga has a like pretty alright score of a 7.66. It feels like we're getting a lot more like not highly rated manga adaptations, at least lately, but more anime is good, right? And who knows, maybe this will be a sleeper hit. Again, Madhouse doing it, you never know. Sometimes they can pull pull stuff out of a hat, so to speak. I'm just curious, like, do they do the gamer language too? Like, do they do gamer speak or I guess lead speak almost? Like, do they do it properly? Do they actually like have the MMO or whatever game they're playing be I don't know, integral to their relationship building, or is it just haha they're both gamers and then that's it? Like do they? So I guess maybe like do they do a wotakoi, which I thought did it really well, actually like referencing games and things that they're doing, or is it more of a I don't know, just a vessel for the story? That's all I'll be curious about.
A fun thing about this series is in the last like year or so, I've been kind of getting more into different like communities within anime, and one of those is like the shoujo and josei community. And the shoujo community hates this story.
Yeah, no way.
This is one that, well, it is a shoujo, and I think a lot of the times that when it's like when things are like labeled shoujo, a lot of people are just like, oh, it's X type of anime or it's X type of story, and then a lot of times it's like when you dig deeper into it, it's more than that. I think on the surface that's just what this story is. So I'm a little nervous because it just seems a little bland. I don't know if we're getting Wotakoi. I don't know if we're going to get like a Horimiya type of thing with like the shy, quiet dude who's actually kind of cool once he takes his glasses off, type of thing. It is like on paper, like this is a me show, right? Like gamer e-boys.
Don't say that about you.
Well,
don't have some faith in you.
Rom-com gamer boys who get girls like way out of their league is just like me to a T. So come on,
you are the person.
Except
in the
I'm
story.
Yeah. I am Yamada.
Wait, Bochi's in this?
Well,
because Bochi just
you
like
already made your Bochi joke.
Okay, sorry.
You're allocated one Bochi joke an episode.
Okay.
Hold on, let me write that down so I can use it later.
Okay.
It looks cute. It looks like the girl looks like very bright. The dude looks just like I don't know. I'm just getting like very Horimiya vibe is like what I'm getting from this, and I don't know if that's what we're gonna get. And like Pat said earlier, we got a lot of these like gamer rom-coms where like the show Gamers itself sucks ass, but then like Tomozaki-kun was like really fun. So maybe we get somewhere in between. I'm a little nervous just because I know the negative reception it has with some people within my circle. So I'm gonna probably give this 3 episodes and then see where it goes from there. But I feel like this is just going to be like really stally, nothing happens type of show, and that's what I'm nervous about.
So just like Wotakoi?
Okay,
yeah.
they kiss Miles.
After how many episodes?
Like 4.
And then did they ever kiss again?
Not on screen.
Okay. Anyways, about this show. My only issue with this thing is that Akane here learns the hard way. Sorry, I have to come back to this. That gamer boyfriends can be just as bad as the offline variety,
which is false. Gamer boyfriends are the best.
No shit, Akane. Like, if someone calls themselves a gamer, that's a red flag. I mean, for Christ's sake, girl. Like, what are you doing? But I don't know. Maybe it's cute. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't think I have like a problem with this being like the stereotypical like shoujo thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is exactly what people think shoujos are. Like, sure, and like Hunter x Hunter is exactly what people think like shonen is. So like,
and they're wrong.
It's like you can do the thing like well.
Yeah.
You know.
Actually, I would say more shows need to stop trying to reinvent the wheel and just drive the car.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, you don't always need to like. Sometimes just telling a cute romance story is fine, or like just like the same way sometimes just telling a story about dudes beating up other dudes is fine. Like, well, but I bet the show will suck.
It will.
It reminds me of Shikamori, where like on paper I thought Shikamori was gonna be great, and I watched it like this is boring.
I can't remember what I thought about Shikamori going into Shikamori.
Do you want me to quote you? You said the best,
yes.
like the best thing about Shikamori was its OP.
Going into it.
Yeah, going into it is what I.
Oh, going into it.
I remember what I thought after I finished watching Shikamori, and after the first episode of Shikamori, and maybe even after the first 10 minutes of Shikamori, which was, wow, this show sucks. It did, again, the plot twist, and spoiler alert for Shikamori is not a cutie. The fact that she actually did just want to be a cutie is still living rent-free in my head.
Peak.
Really was a plot twist that I didn't see coming. But the show was still bad. I bet the show will be, oh god.
Yeah, better or worse?
I can't. Yeah. It's tough. Do you guys think this will be better than Shikamori's Not a Cutie?
I do. Just like I don't know, Madhouse doesn't make bad shows, except for in Miles' case, Overlord. But
yeah, Overlord does suck.
Like Madhouse shoots like 90% from the free throw line.
Yeah. And like Overlord should like I don't know. Working with the source material is pretty hard for Overlord, to be frank. And they did add that great musical scene in the 4th season.
I fucking
that
hated that scene.
I think only I like.
I know.
But I loved it just because I think that character is a lot of fun. Anyways.
I don't know. This is we're giving way too much credit to the show or time to the show.
Yeah, no, I think honestly, we should spend another 20 to 30 minutes on this show.
Agreed.
I think that yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking through, they do good shows. They definitely do good shows.
Yeah.
Um
They have a lot of 5s though too from like the 1970s. So
yeah, but I mean, nothing from the 1970s is good. So you're first,
especially anime.
Especially anime. Anime wasn't good until 2011. We all know that.
True.
2007, but yes.
Yeah. And oh god,
That's when
Matt, wait,
came out.
yeah, I know. I know what I said. Oh, Madhouse was one half of Tacto P Destiny, Pete.
Yeah, that show was ass. It looked nice.
It did. It's so true.
But that show was fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Oh god,
I'll let you know in Discord. How about that?
Okay, I'll watch it. I need to make my call on if this is better or worse than Shikamori. I'm gonna say, fuck it. I'll say worse.
Okay,
the show's gonna be worse than
better.
Shikamori. Okay,
I'll go. You guys are gonna give it the exact same score.
a 6? Yeah, probably.
6.
I think I gave Shikamori a 5. So
yeah, I ended up being the highest on Shikamori, which is
I think I had a 6
crazy.
as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's the plot twist. It really bumped it up.
I just like the colors, man. Like,
it was pretty.
A very pretty show. Yeah, so let's explode off of this show a little bit here. And Miles, what is our final non-sequel that we're covering entirely here?
Do I have any Konosuba? Oh, I have all the light novels, but they're over there.
Fake Konosuba fan.
Yeah, he wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready.
Who's a real? All four volumes of the show we're watching.
Here's Gundam Lifrith. Yeah, so this is Konosuba, An Explosion in This Wonderful World, which is like a prequel Megumin spinoff. I guess I'll read the synopsis. Crimson Magic Clan members Megumin and Yunyun are at the top of their class, but they still have a lot to learn. Yunyun's begun learning advanced magic, but Megumin has gone down a different path of explosion magic. Despite being warned of its limited usefulness, Megumin believes explosion magic is the way for her to become a great, voluptuous, that's concerning, wizard, and she won't be convinced otherwise. So, I don't know anything about the sequel. I haven't or the prequel. I haven't consumed it, right? Like, I do love Konosuba, so pros to this. I like Konosuba. I like these characters. The world's fun. This PV art is really good. I think Megumin's like a really good follow your passions character, right? Someone taking the road less traveled sort of deal. And like forging their own path and dealing with criticism from like hierarchical structures and stuff. That being said, Konosuba gets a little horny. And I'm a little concerned how that's going to play out when like Aqua and Darkness aren't there to like funnel away some of the horniness from Megumin. Who
because they're the actual adults in the room, know, and not children lolly characters, and
a younger version of Megumin nonetheless. So I'm excited about the story because I think this is like an interesting story to tell about like how Megumin decides to go along this path and like about why she loves explosion magic and like any like hardships and stuff she passes. I just hope, God, I hope that they just turn the horniness down. Like I'm not foolish enough to think that it'll not be there. Like I'm not, I don't know. This is my first rodeo, but I just hope they turn it down. That's all I hope. Pete.
Well, good news, because I've read this manga, and it is significantly less horny than the main series.
Go. I imagine it'll be some horny, right? I imagine Megumin's jealous of her boobs and stuff, right? Yeah. Like it'll do the like boob grabbing. Oh, they're so big. Also, I'm jealous of them. It's a girls' school cast, but like as long as it's less horny, I'm okay.
Yes, it is less horny. If you've seen the Konosuba movie, we kind of got introduced there of like the Crimson Magic village that they have, and kind of like the wackiness of that village, and that's kind of like what this is centered around. It's more like school focused, with the cast that we get like a brief introduction to some of the characters in the movie, other than like Yun. And yeah, it's just like a really fun like comedy like slice of life adventure. I'd say adventure because they mostly stay within the village, but yeah, just like silly hijinks that Konosuba is known for, but just in like a contained setting of their village. It was a pretty fun read. I think I will like the anime more than the manga just because like Ri Takahashi is an incredible voice actress and how she does Megumin is incredible. So I think I'm gonna enjoy it a little bit more. I gave the manga a 6. So I'm thinking this is probably gonna be like a 7 or an 8 type of show. I'm not gonna like it as much as Konosuba, but yeah, I think this is gonna be like a really good time just watching, one of my favorite Konosuba characters in Yun. I proudly served the Soviet Union, and just the hijinks that the school involves with their village and everything. So yeah, Pat, your thoughts?
Yeah, so you said you read the manga. Is the manga it says here a source is the light novel. So do you think it's like a similar thing to like Progressive where there's a manga for it, but the light novel's the actual
No,
source?
I think they just made the manga off of the light novel. Just like how Konosuba is based off a light novel, but there's a manga for it too.
Mhm.
They just base it. They just write a manga based off the light novel.
Right, okay. Well, I was just curious because like that seems low for you on Konosuba. Because I don't know, is one of your
Well,
favorites, right?
it's
Like,
like quick. It's like it's 4 volumes. It's like 20 chapters. Nothing.
oh, okay.
It's not really like anything. Like we're not gonna get like crazy character growth or like crazy scenarios. It's just like a contained setting of characters that you enjoy, and I think that's like that with most series I like when they get like a like a 1 episode spin-off type of thing. Even like the Full Metal Alchemist spin-off that had like 2 episodes, or it had a movie, The Sacred Star of Milios. I gave it like an 8. But it's like I think Full Metal Alchemist is like it's my second favorite anime of all time. It's stuff like that where like I adore Konosuba. This is just like a smaller contained version of it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Megumin is my least favorite character out of the main cast of Konosuba. What I want from this is for it to keep some of the comedy. Again, the movie was very, very funny. I really liked the movie. I really liked her parents. So I hope we get more of them. It is so hilarious that basically a Chunibyo from another world came and created the clan. Like the idea of them like doing all these theatrics for nothing just because of a Chunibyo being like isekai'd into their world is so funny to me. I want them to develop more of the world, do more of the world building that Konosuba is incredible at, right? Where every little thing that happens on screen matters or it means something. Like, oh, so because Megumin's unlucky, it means that her luck stat's really bad, or like, or even like another layer beyond that, right? I'm excited for that aspect of it. I don't know, any more Konosuba content to me is good because I love that series. A little concerning that it's done by the Studio Drive that's relatively new. They've only done Fate Grand Order, like the commercials for Fate, like FGO or whatever, like the animations that get announced whenever the game comes or an update comes. And then To Your Eternity season 2 basically are the only two main shows that they've really worked on, and they're doing season 3 of Konosuba as well, it looks like. So that's a good thing probably that they're doing both, so that way there'll be more similarities to them and like ways to connect it. Maybe there'll be a game plan to actually have like some things that they show in Konosuba or in this Megumin spinoff that'll become relevant in season 3. Again, I'm excited for it. I'm definitely gonna watch it, even if it's mediocre. I love this. Probably one of my favorite comedy animes out there. So I cannot wait to keep watching it.
They're
Well,
doing the upcoming Uzumaki anime, which from the PVs has looked phenomenal.
So good. I cannot
Um,
wait for that. Except it keeps getting delayed.
I think they'll just delay it until fall again because it's spooky, and they'll just wait for spooky season.
Fuck it, why
Um,
not?
yeah, I mean that's my guess, but who knows? But I do have some faith in the studio because of that. So like even though it's new, like check out the PV for Uzumaki Pet, because like the way that they animate it like a manga is like really cool and unique and shows some like creativity on their part. So I think they'll be able to get it done. Or
Yeah,
maybe they won't and they'll suck. Who
And maybe
knows?
she'll be ass. Who knows?
Well, I mean, is To Your Eternity season 2 like being well received?
It's okay.
I've
Yeah,
seen,
it's all right. It's all
yeah.
right.
Okay.
I
well,
prefer
there you go.
season 1 studio more than season 2, but it's fine. It's not bad. I'll just put it that way.
Right. It makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. I assume Miles is too, because he's one of the bigger Konosuba guys here too, right?
I sure am.
He sure is. That is all the shows that we are doing that were non-sequels. Now we're going to jump into our sequel part, where this is a very, very heavy sequel season. So I know Pat's itching to talk about one show in specific, so I'm going to make him go last. I'm just kidding. You go first, man.
Oh.
Are you ready? You want me to go?
Well, which sequel was I assigned?
You were assigned, but there was one that you were talking about a lot that I'm trying to, hint.
yeah.
Eh.
Oh, you're throwing me on a ship and sending me out to sea. I like it. Yes,
One
Dr.
Piece.
Stone. Yeah, no. Dr. Stone, New World, 3rd season of Dr. Stone. Let's go. All my boys get hyped. This is the best shonen that's airing right now, in my humble opinion, that I can think of off the top of my head as we're speaking right now. But no, actually, this is probably all right. Demon Slayer is pretty good too. Oh yeah, that show's coming out. But no, Dr. Stone, let's go. I cannot wait to see how they explore the new world. Do they find other clans of people that somehow still existed? What are their plans to save God, fuck it, what's his name? The guy who they put into a cryogenic sleep.
Han
Like
Solo.
what? Yeah, Han Solo. Thank you. How are these characters going to continue to develop, and how is the new captain, the new guy that's helping them sail across the seas? I cannot wait to see more of him as a character. I think he's just like the epitome of like the Chad meme, where he's like, yeah, no, I just want to be rich. I want money.
Everyone
Like,
says
give
he's
it
the
to me.
best character of the story, too.
Nanami, I think is his name. Yeah, like give me more of him. That like OVA slash like bridge between season 2 and season 3 that they released 6 months ago got me so hyped for this, and I cannot wait. Like, and we're gonna get a new OP soon. That's gonna just be a fucking banger gym playlist immediately. I guarantee you. I don't know. What do you think, Miles, as someone who totally has watched Dr. Stone at this point?
Yeah, I've watched a lot of Dr. Stone. Big fan of Dr. Stone. Pete, what are your thoughts on the upcoming season of Dr. Stone?
So I haven't watched the special episode yet. I will before it airs, or before season 3 airs. I loved season 1 of Dr. Stone. And then I watched Stone Wars, and I thought it was okay. So I'm leaning more towards like this is gonna be probably hype, because this new character that gets introduced, everybody's saying like, yes, he's the best character.
He is.
There was, I think, I could be wrong, and people can let me know, but I think at one point in the original like crafting of the story, Nanami was supposed to be the main character instead of Senku, and then they kind of like reverted it and went back to Senku. Yeah, I'm more on like the hype train for Dr. Stone. I think it's a very solid series.
Cannot wait. Oh man, yes, the sequels that are coming, and it's not. It's, again, like there's so many of them that are coming this season. It's great that that we're finally starting to see. Well, I feel like we say this every year, but it's like more and more sequels are coming out, more and more continuations, and fewer. Go read the mangas are happening every year, and maybe that's just the volume of anime we're getting as well. But this, yeah, like I would not read Doctor Stone either. I don't think for me it doesn't seem like a show that I would enjoy reading, but keep giving me the anime. Like I will watch every single episode of this show.
They'll probably fully adapt it at this point.
I would hope so, right? Like unless and I believe the manga is still
Manga's
going.
done. It ended last year.
Oh, it's done.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I remember they announced that. I didn't hear anything negative about the ending, right?
Same,
I didn't hear anyone freak out about it, so I assume it ended at a pretty good spot too. So yeah, let's hope they continue to adapt it. I don't know. Who wants to take the next sequel, and which one is it?
Why don't you just go through your list of like what else you're watching, and we can just go
Oh,
into knock it
yeah,
out.
fair enough. Yeah, sure. I guess Demon Slayer. Let's just strike while the iron sword is hot or whatever. Swordsmith Village arc. I know nothing about it going into it. People love the female lead character, and it's
Mhm.
Kana Hanazawa voicing her, so it's gonna be great. I'm sure. Yeah, I know. Like I like Demon Slayer enough. Like I enjoy it, and I get why some people didn't like the second season as much, but or the villains maybe, but the Pete is that some people. I don't know. I'm excited for Ufotable to continue to animate Demon Slayer. Like what's good?
Yeah.
What's next?
I heard this
Truly,
is the
what is
best arc
next?
in the manga too. So
Really?
yep.
Oh wow. I thought people were saying that about the Entertainment District arc, which is
That-
why I was probably a little underwhelmed, but maybe I was going in expecting too much,
Probably.
because of it. What about you, Miles? I think are you caught up on Demon Slayer? No?
No.
I thought you were watching it. No? Oh shit. Well, my bad.
I've watched like 7 episodes of Demon Slayer, and he
So you
sure
watched the
does
worst part. Yeah.
slay the demons in it. Um,
Fair enough. No,
I
it's
just,
no, I get. Genuinely I thought you were, because I thought I feel like I remember talking to you about it, but maybe it was that you just got through 7 episodes and were like, why is this popular, and then moved on.
I
And I
didn't
don't blame
mind
you.
it. I just stopped watching it one day and never felt the desire to get back into it. It wasn't like I was like, "Oh, this is bad." It's just
Mhm.
like I don't know. I moved
Yeah.
on, but maybe
No,
I'll get around to it.
it happens to the best of us. I'm curious, especially this season. I know nothing about the manga. I'm just curious to see how they continue to raise the stakes. Because like in the movie, they fight one of the upper level demons almost, right? And in the show, they continue to fight some of the higher ranking demon. Like, how are they going to continue to raise the stakes without it just being, oh, maybe one of the higher ranked demon slayer core people dies and then the 3 main guys somehow survive or something. Like, how are they going to continue to raise the stakes
I
without it
think you're
becoming
onto something.
what that well that's just like, I don't know what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like it's always well, it's like, oh, but Uzui, no, that's his name, right? The guy, the main
Yeah.
guy from last time.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, he spoilers, Miles. He loses both of his arms, and it's like, oh well, he lives and gets to be with his 3 hot wives still, but now he can't be a demon slayer anymore. So now he's out. Like, who is Kana
Tanjiro,
Hanazawa gonna
baby. It's
die?
Tanjiro time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm more excited for more Inosuke too. Again, I love that trio, even though they're very annoying sometimes. It's gonna be a fun
And
show.
Nosuke, best boy.
Inosuke for sure, best boy. Another sequel, Tonikawa, Over the Moon. Give us
Yes.
more. Give us more of this wonderful couple, and please just show that she's Kaguya Hime already, right? Like, or give more info. Like, it's obvious, right? Like, you're not fooling anyone. You're not like, just give us more. Develop them.
I can't believe Miles doesn't watch this show. The main character's name is NASA.
I know.
I've had it on my like I should watch this, but like and I have a lot of shows
You
on
like
my list.
stars. You know
I
what else
do.
like stars? NASA.
I'm wearing literally I'm wearing a NASA shirt right
You
now.
have to watch the show then. That's the law.
Got a NASA thing right
Look
here.
at
There we
that.
go. The lunar lander right here. But yeah, so now again,
So it's just my belly. Cut
yeah, I
that
was just
beat.
say Artemis one. It says "Fly Me to the Moon," Evangelion reference. Miles, you should love it. There we go, because it's totally an Eva reference and not
100% it is.
the
Everything.
song. Not the
Everything
song.
is.
Yeah. I love this couple. I know a lot of like people like one of our active community members, Johnny, really likes the show too. We've been hyping it up. The music, again, if the OP is anything like the first one,
So
it's gonna be a
good.
banger. Oh, cannot wait. And then the most important sequel. We saved it for last, actually. So Dr. Stone, sit the fuck at the back of the bus. We don't care about you anymore. It is time for Birdie Wing, Golf Girls Story season 2, and this one Miles has actually watched, and we are so ready. Look at this! Look at this stunning cast of 9 women golfers, and then that one random dude who's in the corner who doesn't matter. We're ready. More Birdie Wing. Oh my god, I cannot wait for Birdie Wing season 2. Give me more golf. I am so into golf now too, personally. Like I've been playing so much more of it. Planning on getting new clubs soon. Like I cannot wait to be watching this live. Like maybe while I'm on the golf course. Maybe I'll like tune
That's
in. Like I'll
excessive.
literally have no, but like actually, like I want to be sitting there blue bulleting my drive. And in reality, my drive is gonna piss off to the right. Like because I suck at golf and I'm not what's her name? Eva, but Eve. Evangeline,
It's an Ava
apparently is her full
reference.
name.
It's
It
an
is an
Ava
Ava
reference.
reference. Yes. Miles, what do you think? Are you excited for more Birdie Wing?
Yeah. I love Birdie Wing. Birdie Wing is my 21st favorite anime of all time, and fuck it, I might just bump it up. Who cares? Fate Zero, get the fuck out of here. Mononoke, you're
Okay,
trash.
whoa.
Um, it's I love Birdie Wing. I'm so excited for more Birdie Wing. Birdie Wing aired alongside inferior anime when it originally came out, such as like Spy Family, but it has no competition this season. Nothing this season is even close to Birdie Wing. The most exciting part of Birdie Wing, right, is that we might get a little Easter egg of the other best sequel this season, which is The Witch from Mercury, because they're both made by Bandai, and there's a lot of Gundam product
That's
placement in Birdie
true.
Wing. But no, I'm really excited for this show. Like, I'm actually highly invested in it. I want to see like how this tournament arc ends, and if you didn't watch Birdie Wing because you were like, "Who wants to watch a golf show?" You're a fool.
Yeah.
You should watch it. It's more of a mafia show than a golf show, though I suspect this season might be a little bit more of a golf show. I will say that the opening theme for season 2 is Venus Line again. It looks
Let's
like,
go.
Yeah, I saw that
If
too.
it
I was
ain't
like,
broke,
which is
if it ain't broke.
Yeah. I wonder if
which
they
is
change it at all. You know, like do they update the song? Like what's gonna happen here? Like I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I hope. Yeah, God, I'm just excited to see what happens. I listed this as the upcoming anime I would most likely want to see if I died. And I only got to watch
Yes.
one more. I, I, this all sounds like it's ironic, but it's not. I just love Birdie Wing. I'm really excited for it.
My favorite line from season 1 is wait, you know how to speak Japanese? Oh yeah, I guess so.
Guess so.
Guess so.
I don't know how. And of course, it's because she has amnesia. But like, hell yeah, like give me more of that bullshit. Like, Pete,
so
what
good.
Pete doesn't say like, yeah. What are you a Birdie Wing stan?
Not as high, but I love when someone's like, "Hey, can you give me like a recommendation of like a show that like is under the radar now people talk about it?" I always spout Birdie Wing. It's like watch it, like anime of the year, unironically the Miles, and
Yeah, so good.
I do
Oh,
like
it's
the
rough.
fact that
It
there
is rough.
I do like that there is a real chance that it is in some form of Gundam universe. I think that's really cool.
Can you imagine they start playing golf in space in like the
Why
final
not?
That
2
could happen.
episodes?
It could
Like-
happen.
Yeah,
The
because like
technology that they have making those like AI generated courses, they could probably play in space too.
fun fact, that's actually starting to exist
I
too.
saw
Like
that.
did you see that?
Uh-huh.
That's sick as fuck that in 2023 we have that. But then the
Inspired by
VR,
Birdie Wing.
yeah,
Yes.
inspired by Birdie Wing. And then the VR stuff was really cool. Like I don't know. Again, it's tournament arc, right? Like who doesn't love a good tournament arc? And instead it's gonna be girls hitting balls further than PGA drivers do right now.
That's Blue
High school
Bullet for
girls
you.
doing that with Blue Bullet, and putting a hole through a tree rather than going around it with Blue Bullet. And I don't know.
He knows like 2 colors.
And someone's synthetic arm blowing off because they hit a golf ball too many times. And- I'm sorry again, like all of these things happened. So if you haven't watched Birdie Wing yet, Go watch it.
Peep it.
Yes, go watch it. It does get pretty bad at certain points, but the peaks are worth the valleys, you know?
Yeah.
And that I don't know, that's all of the sequels that I have. Miles, I think you mentioned Witch from Mercury. You want to talk about that a little bit?
I mean, I'm just really excited. I mean, I'll not spend a ton of time on it. It aired recently. It's just a continuation of Witch from Mercury. So if you liked Witch from Mercury, just get excited for that. Pete, do you have any sequels that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, the ones that we weren't mentioned, we're getting the Ranking a King special, which I always more Boji is always great. Also super random in another world with us. My smartphone season 2, it aired like 7 years ago, and for some reason we're getting a season 2 now. This holds a special place in my heart because it is like how The Girl Who Left Through Time is my staple for an 8. In another world with my smartphone is my staple for a 5 out of 10 anime.
Oh, okay.
Close. Close. We're also getting the Racist Bear sequel, Kuma 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 Bear season 2. The first season sucked, but I'll watch the second season because it's cute. And then Tokyo Mew Mew season 2. I liked the first season, so fuck it, I'll watch the second one. That's all the sequels I got. Is there any shows that we didn't talk about that people want to talk about now before we head out?
I think there's one that we missed. That
Because I have
and
10, so you guys go.
I have
oh,
less than 10, but I do have more than one. So Pat, go ahead.
sure. And I think this one I think will be on all of our lists, so it's probably good that I go first too. This show is called Kawaii Sugi Crisis or Too Cute Crisis. Very short synopsis, so I'll do it quick. Lisa Luna is an alien who wants to destroy Earth upon her first look. But the planet has a plethora of good things, and it would be a pity for her to not check it out first. Thus, Earth is spared from destruction, and the alien starts to wander around places. Soon, Lisa ends up in a cat cafe where she will encounter creatures that are beyond her understanding. I have not watched the PV for this yet. It's done by Studio Synergy SP, who doesn't who appears to have done a lot of baseball anime. Oh, but they also did the Taisho Fairy Tale. You know, the cute Industrial Revolution Japan.
Yeah, that was fun.
Anime. That one was a fun one. So they've also done. They also did the Kaku or the Cuckoo Nest.
A
Fucking
couple of
awful show.
cuckoos.
Yeah, a couple of cuckoos.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Yeah.
Pretty awful show. So I don't know. This just caught my eye because it's like they're gonna be an alien interacting with cats, and it's like cats are funny. I love cats. I envy
Cats are
people who
funny.
have cats. I am so jealous because I cannot own a cat with my current living situation. So that'll be the first thing I do when I move out. I don't know. It looks like it's gonna have a lot of cats, or at least one in particular. And yeah, it'll be fun to see a cute alien girl try and interact with them. And yeah, what do you guys think?
Looks cute.
Yeah, it does look cute. It's definitely something that I plan on giving a couple of episodes. It just seems adorable. Other things that I plan on watching this season, I plan on dropping Magical Girl Destroyers in like one or two episodes, but I'll give it a go. Um, I
That's not even on
I
my
think-
list. That's how bad I think that show's going to be.
Dropping it. I plan on dropping.
there's a couple every season. I think Tengoku Daimakyo is a show that like I also plan on dropping, but in like a little longer than one or two episodes. I suspect that I'll last like 5 for that show.
Mm.
I think Kanojo ga Kokusha te ni ita Ryu is like this season's like villainous type like romance isekai sort of thing. And I generally enjoy those shows, so I'll give that one a go. I have to say, we were just talking about how you don't need to reinvent the wheel. I think the genre probably could reinvent the wheel a little bit at this point. I think that we got that a little bit this season with Inyo and Kobayashi.
We did,
which
for
is nice.
sure.
But I would like to see a little bit more, branch out a little bit with it. Now I know it is relatively new of like a thing, and so like that's not happening. But at the rate that things are getting adapted nowadays, you don't really get that. It's like isekai
Yep.
almost, right? Where it's like you just get every single one, and so you sort of have to weed through which ones are good. But I'll definitely give it a shot, and I suspect that it's not going to be any worse than like a 7 or anything.
Mm.
And was there anything else I planned on watching?
Princess Principal season or third movie, maybe. You know,
Well,
throw
I
that
have to
out
wait
there.
until the second movie comes out in English,
Yeah, I'll
which
say
will happen.
we'll get
So I'll be,
we'll get the English version in about 9 months.
which
We-
generous. But there is a
Oh.
great fight scene in the second movie, so get hyped for that. Pete, I'll let you talk about the other stuff because you probably care about it more than I do.
I think we actually have one more that you really care about too, Miles.
Oh, did I miss something?
Yeah, it's the
Yes.
one I'm gonna bring up right now. Otaku Elf.
Oh,
How could you forget about Otaku Elf?
I forgot that I was gonna say if Pete brings up Otaku Elf, I swear to God.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, it's
What about all 3 volumes of my Otaku Elf manga that I have here?
Have you read them?
I haven't touched it at all. This is the first time I've touched it.
yeah.
I don't
There
even know
you go.
why I bought it.
How many of the manga behind you can you say the same thing about?
Half, probably about half of them.
Okay.
Other shows that I'm watching, unironically, I will be watching Otaku Elf. Just because it has something about like drinking energy drinks and playing video games. So I'm like, yeah, sure, sign me up. Blue Orchestra. I like
Oh,
music
yeah,
anime,
good.
and I've heard good things about. There's 2 actually music animes that have the color blue in it coming out. So we have Blue Orchestra and Blue Giant, and I know Blue Giant is like critically acclaimed, and we're getting a movie for that. This one looks fine. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good, and like I like music anime, so there's that. Mashal, Muscles and Magic. Essentially, it's like if Harry Potter didn't have magic and he just like lifted weights the whole time, essentially beat wizards by punching them. The concept seems super fun. Tyler read
That
it.
actually sounds hilarious.
Yeah, it does sound really fun. So I know Tyler read it and he likes it a lot, so I'm definitely gonna give that a shot. Dead Mountain Deathplay. Shout out to my boy D Corpse God, who is the most edgiest main character since I don't know Anno's Folding Gold or something like that. We read this for Manga Club. It looks trash, and it was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it was like a really fun show to read. My Clueless First Friend, it looks a lot like Takagi-san style, so I like those style of shows. And then my maybes that I have, Heavily Delusion. It is a sci-fi adventure. The manga won like best seinen manga in like 2019. So I know it's kind of critically acclaimed in Japan, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. And it's done by Production IG, which is like a pretty good studio, so I'm gonna check that one out. And did I have anything else?
I think we all did, and that we're just forgetting
The
about.
the
because it was a-
Snafu OVA, I'll
There
be
you
checking
go.
that out. And yeah, there's like a delinquent.
Oh.
Yeah,
I am
the
excited
Snafu
about.
OVA.
I am excited for the Snafu.
That's what I'm
OVA.
saying. I was like, Miles, surely you're excited to finally see your best girl win, right? Because that's what this is going to be, right? It's going to be following the other 4. I think it's supposed to show him dating Yukino for a bit, and then basically do like a light novel end, or not light novel, visual novel ending for the every other girl, including the teacher. That's what I heard. So, should be interesting to see at the
Should
very
be
least.
interesting. I think that's it though. I think we covered everything. This is going to be like I think this will be a very good season of anime, especially considering we're coming off of winter, which has like 1 great show, 3 good shows, and then like 10 sixes. So I'm really looking forward to like a more critically acclaimed season compared to what we have now, other than like, Finland Saga, which is just insane. But if you have made this far and you want to support us, best way to do so, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on whatever platform you're watching or listening to us on. Next week for Watch Club, we will be watching Miles' favorite show, Spice and Wolf, Season 1. So looking forward to checking that out. Otherwise, if you're here for our non-Watch Club, our next episode will be what I actually just talked about, the winter review. So look forward to seeing that in a few weeks. I want to say thank you, and we will see you next time.